So we have Economics Paper 1, October 2023. The first question, it said, which one of the following statements is a consequence of diminishing marginal utility? What is diminishing marginal utility?
Means that as a person consumes more units of a good or service, the extra satisfaction or utility they get from each additional unit decreases.
Decreases. That is diminishing marginal utility, okay? Now, it said total utility will rise at a faster rate as more of a product is consumed. Is it the answer? What is total utility?
Total utility is the total satisfaction or consumption.
Okay. So will total utility rise when we talk about when we talk about
No,
diminishing marginal
because
utility?
every time you consume a product, there's less utility. So it's
Less
shrunk.
utility, right?
Mhm.
Good. Okay, so it's not A. B.
B is not correct
Why?
because diminishing marginal utility mean
Oh, that's not so. Not so.
how are
Yeah,
you?
good, sir.
How's my son doing?
So supply, the second option said supply is what? They said supply is upward.
Mhm.
Do you think supply is upward or downward? They said supply is downward. That's the second option here. We're talking about
No, they
diminishing
said
marginal
supply.
utility, right?
Yeah,
And for diminishing marginal utility, what does it mean?
it means that a person consumes more units of a good or service, and the extra satisfaction or utility they get from each additional unit it decreases.
Reduces. That is diminishing marginal utility.
Mm.
Then they said, which one does diminishing marginal utility relate to? Total utility will rise at a faster rate as more of a product is consumed. Is it the answer?
A is not the answer
Okay, why?
because this occurs where there's an increasing marginal utility.
So total utility will rise and it will only increase utility. It will increase satisfaction.
Mhm.
The supply curve for a product will slope upward.
B is not correct because diminishing marginal utility is not related to the supply curve.
Good. But for supply curve, it will always slope upward anyway,
Yeah.
because the higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Then the demand curve of a product will slope downward.
Yes.
Why?
Because as you consume, you would and your marginal utility starts diminishing, the demand for the product would start decreasing.
Yeah, so it simply means that more goods are consumed when the price reduces. But as soon as you consume more, what happens to your satisfaction? Satisfaction
Decreases.
reduces, okay? Then D, it said total utility will rise at a constant rate as more of a product is consumed.
D is not correct because diminishing marginal utility means the utility will rise at a slower rate as more of the product is consumed.
So, which simply means total utility has never for once be constant, right?
Yes.
Total utility is never constant, and diminishing marginal utility will always reduce. So the answer is A, right?
Mm-hmm.
So any question about diminishing marginal utility now?
No.
Good. We're going to question 2. So question 1 is C. Question 1, C. Question 1, C. Question 2. It said the table shows the changes in electricity generation from two sources in selected countries between 2019 and 2020. Which one of the following can be deduced from the table? Let's see. The largest percentage decline in the use of the non-renewable resources for electricity generation was in South Korea. Was it in South Korea?
No.
Non-renewable, right?
Yeah.
So what are non-renewable resources?
Non-renewable resources are resources that deplete with use.
With use, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the largest percentage of decline in the use of non-renewable sources for electricity generation was in South Korea. Was it in South
No,
Korea
it wasn't
decline?
the USA.
Does South Korea has declined in non-renewable? No, it's
No.
positive here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The largest percentage increase in the US in the use of renewable resources for electricity generation was in the US.
Yes.
Why?
According to the table, there was an extra 45% of solar energy used in the power generation in the US.
So the non-renewable use of the use of renewable resources increases, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the answer is B, okay? So see, why is it not C?
The answer is not C because in all countries the use of non-renewable resources decreased.
Decreased. Okay, great. And D, why is it not D?
Because in all countries the use of the renewable resources increased.
Not decreased. So the answer is B for question 2,
Yeah.
right? Good. Question 2, B. We go to question 3. We move on.
Mhm.
He said, in the Netherlands, the cost elasticity of demand for organic meat with respect to a change in the price of non-organic meat is 0.5. Positive. Which one of the following can be deduced from this information?
This is
So what is cost elasticity?
cross elasticity is the degree, it's the change in demand for product A as a result of a change in price of product B.
Okay, a change in price of product A, a change in price of organic meat as a result of a change in price of non-organic meat, right?
A change in demand.
Change in demand of a change in demand of organic meat as a result of a change in price of non-organic meat, right?
Yeah.
That's cost elasticity of demand, okay?
Yeah.
So which one of the following can be deduced from this information?
Organic meat and non-organic meat are substitutes.
Are they
Yes.
substitute now?
Yes, because they have a positive XCD.
They have a positive XED. So the answer for question 3 is A.
Yeah.
So an XED with a positive, a product with a positive XED means it is a substitute, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer is A. Why is it not B?
Because the data provided are for cross elasticity of demand and not income elasticity of demand.
Why is it not C?
Because unrelated goods would have an XCD of 0.
And why is it not D?
Because complements have an XCD which is negative.
Thank you. So question 3 is A.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna quickly review this back now. So please quickly tell me again, please. They said the XCD here is positive 0.5.
Mhm.
So it simply means the product in question is a substitute good, right?
Yes.
Great. So it is A. Why is it not B?
B is not correct because the data provided are for cross elasticity of demand and not income elasticity of demand.
So normal goods is for income elasticity. And why is it not C?
C is not correct because unrelated goods would have an XCD of 0.
And why is it not D?
D is not correct because complements have an XCD which is negative.
So a normal good is for income elasticity. Unrelated good has XED of 0. And complements have what? XED of negative. Thank you. So go to question 4. Let's go down there, please. So we go to question 4. They said the diagram shows the PPF of an economy currently operating at point X. So the economy operates at point X. Okay, the economy operates at point X, which is 200. Okay, at point X, there's capital goods of 200 and consumer goods of what? At point X, there's capital goods of 200 and consumer goods of
Consumer goods of 120 at X 100.
okay. That's where the economy is operating at right now.
Yeah.
So they said, which one of the following can be deduced from the diagram? Point Z is obtainable when using all available resources. Point Z.
It is not correct because point Z is obtainable because it is inside the PPF.
So it means they still have resources which are unused, right?
Mhm.
So point Z is an unused resources, right? Okay. It's not A, right?
Mhm.
Okay. B.
B,
Point Y would generate higher economic growth than point X.
B is not correct because at point Y there are fewer capital goods, so the growth rate will be slower.
So if more consumer goods are produced, does it generate, what does it mean? When more consumer goods are produced, what does it mean?
There's there's lack of technology. Yes, technology.
Okay,
Yeah,
continue.
there's a lack of technology, so there's less production of capital goods.
Okay, well, let me put it this way for you. If an economy produces more of consumer goods, it improves the standard of living in the current situation in the short run, but it affects them in the long run.
Mhm.
You understand? So for economic growth to really occur, economy or countries must invest more on capital goods because capital goods are goods that are used to create other goods. So investment in capital goods will be sustainable. Do you get it? So here they said point Y will generate higher economic growth than point X. No, point at increasing capital goods will generate more economic goods than more will generate economic growth than producing consumer goods. So that's why B is not correct. Okay.
Mm.
C, the
See,
movement from point X to point Y has an opportunity cost of 50 capital goods.
yes.
So explain that, please.
Well, when you move from X to Y, you can notice that the number of capital goods went from 200 to 150, which
Okay.
is the opportunity cost.
So that means moving from X to Y means less
Capital
goods
goods.
are produced. So that is 200 minus 150, which is 50, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So what's the opportunity cost?
The opportunity cost is 50 capital goods.
And what's the real cost?
The real cost is 125 consumer goods.
Really? 25. It increases by 25.
Yeah,
So is it 125 or 25?
no, 25.
25. Good. And why is it not D?
The movement D is not correct because the movement to Y results in a gain of 25 consumer goods.
Not a loss. So the real cost is now what? 25, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So what's opportunity cost again?
Opportunity cost is the second best alternative to a decision made.
Okay. So opportunity cost is what? Opportunity cost is the next best alternative for gone. So what is a PPF?
PPF is a curve showing the combination of capital and consumer goods in the economy, give provided that all resources and technology have been used.
Yes, that is PPF. So why do we really have a PPF?
To track the growth, I think, or like to track the productivity.
Okay. So why will a PPF bring about opportunity cost?
It would bring about because not all resources are fully allocated.
No. A PPF will bring about opportunity cost because we said a PPF combines two resources that can be produced, the combination of two resources that can be produced if all resources are fully utilized. So it's either we produce more of capital goods,
Or
produce less of consumer goods, or we produce partly between them. So which means there's scarcity. Scarcity brings about PPF and opportunity cost. If we have enough resources, then there's no point stopping. Well, there's no reason why we need the PPF because we can produce the same quantity of capital goods as we can produce the same quantity for both capital goods and consumer goods, but we cannot. Now that's why we have a PPF. So there's always going to be an opportunity cost. So for you to increase capital goods, you have to reduce consumer goods. For you to increase consumer goods, you have to reduce capital goods. And that is as a result of scarcity. I think opportunity cost is clear.
yeah.
And production possibility frontier is clear.
Yes.
Okay, good. So for question 4, right?
Mhm.
So our question 3, we did that. Question 4 is what?
C.
Question 4C, okay? Question 4. Question 4C. We go to question 5. Excuse me, please. Question 5. Are you there? So in the UK, consumers who remain loyal to their broadband provider pay on average an extra 113 per year. Which one of the fund is an example of inertia in the broadband market? What's consumer inertia here?
Consumer inertia is when consumers are too lazy to do the process of switching providers.
So why is it not A?
A is not correct because this is an example of poor computation.
Consumer remain with their current provider because they cannot calculate the possible savings. That is poor computation.
Mhm.
So it's not A, it's not initial, but it's an irrational behavior too, right? It could lead to irrational behavior. 2, B, sorry.
B is not correct because they are more likely to switch if they do not feel valued.
A, why is it not C?
Because this is an example of hurting or being influenced by others' behavior.
And why is it D?
Well, it's D because consumers believe that um this is lazy. This is an example of
That
laziness.
effort is required to switch. The effort required to switch will be too great. That means they feel lazy. It's going to take us a lot of stress switching. So they don't want to do that. That's consumer inertia, right?
Yes.
So question 5 is D.
Yes.
Question 6. Are you there?
Mhm.
It said the diagram shows the market for sugar sweetening drink in Peru. Government imposed an ad valorem tax on sugar sweetening drinks. What are ad valorem tax?
Ad valorem tax is the specific tax on consumption.
Good. So it said which one of the following shows the value of the consumer incidence of tax? So consumer will be paying how much tax here?
Um, Consumers would be paying.
How did you get your calculation?
I calculated the consumer incidence, which is the price before tax minus the price, it's the price after tax minus the price before tax times the quantity traded for after tax.
So what's the price before tax?
The price before tax was 310.
3.1
Yeah,
minus
minus the 2.05. 2.5.
2.5. What does that give you?
That gives me 0.6.
0.6. Okay.
And then we multiply it by the quantity traded after tax.
What's the quantity traded after tax?
It's the 380.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So what does that give you? 380 multiplied by 0.6.
We
310 minus this
it's in thousands, 380,000.
times what?
380,000.
Okay, I know, yes. Because it's in thousand, I could write 380, it doesn't matter.
And
Okay, what does it give you?
it gives me um B.
What's 126?
Yeah,
So 126,000, right?
yeah.
Okay. The question 6 is B.
Mm.
Great. We go to question 7. Hold on, please. So we go to question 7. Are you there?
Yeah.
They said in the US, the income elasticity of demand for margarine is minus 0.2 in April 2021. Real incomes increased by 15%. Draw a diagram to illustrate the likely impact of this increase in real incomes on the equivalent price and quantity of margarine. So they said the income elasticity is negative for margarine, and the real income increased by 15%. What does that mean? What does margarine means like that? What does it mean?
It's an elastic good. Let's say like how do you call it? It's an essential good.
Really? The question says, as income increases, right?
Yeah.
The demand for margarine gives a YED of negative 0.2. So a negative YED is what?
It's a
Negative
inferior
YED,
good.
what?
Inferior.
Inferior goods. So, and inferior goods are good that as income increases, the quantity demanded reduces. So they said we should draw a diagram to illustrate the likely impact of this increase in real incomes on the equilibrium price and quantity of margarine. So what will happen to the price of margarine and what will happen?
Fall.
It will fall. Why?
Because demand falls for the.
So let's say we have a graph. So you're gonna have, so we have, okay. So we have Q1, Q2. We have the supply curve here. We have the demand curve. D1. Let's say we have QE here, D1, D. Then we have equilibrium price and P1. So for income elasticity, as income increases, the quantity demanded reduces, right? From D to D1. Quantity will contract moving backward, right? Leftward, and the price is expected to drop. So that's a graphical representation of income elasticity of demand, right? And what is income elasticity of demand?
The degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded as a result of a change in income.
Okay. The degree of quantity demanded as a result of a change, degree of responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in the level of income, right? YED, okay. So this one is better though. Okay. So that's YED.
No.
Yes, sir.
لا دولابة فلوسك، ما هي فلوسك دولابة.
Shall we? Yeah. Okay. So go to question 8, right?
Yeah.
Said for question 8, they said in 1960, Lake Chad in Central Africa was large enough to provide the local farmers with water to irrigate their crops. However, by 2017, there had been a 90% reduction in the size of the lake. The farmers could no longer use water from the lake for irrigation. With reference to Lake Chad, explain the difference between free good and an economic good. What's a free good? Said free good is the resource which is so abundant that its availability is not a constraint on economic activity. So it's a free good because it doesn't have an opportunity cost, right?
And it does not have a price.
No, opportunity cost. That's a free good. So economic good is a good that derives utility. Is that what you can only say about economic goods? No. Economic goods are
They
goods
have
that
an
have opportunity
opportunity
cost.
cost and they have scarcity. Means people
Well,
may be willing
opportunity
to pay
cost,
for
yeah.
it.
They have opportunity cost. Okay. So that was the difference between a free good and economic good. They said, so in 1960, with reference now, in 1960, water from the Chad was a free good as it had a great abundance. It is abundant. It is abundant. It's something like that. It is abundant. Okay. So by 2017, farmers could no longer use the lake for irrigation, suggesting it is an economic. It becomes an economic good. That's what happens, right?
Yes.
So it becomes, it's not that you said could no longer use the lake for irrigation, suggesting it is an economic good. No. It was, you said it was free good between 1960, right? Yeah. Take care. Take care. You said it was free good, so it became
An economic good.
economic good. Okay. So what is irrigation?
Irrigation is when you like make a way for the water to come onto the land.
Passage of
Yeah.
water from where you have it in abundance to a place that is needed.
Yeah.
Irrigation, like from the lake to the desert.
Yeah.
That's irrigation. It's agricultural term though. We don't need that anyway. I'm just asking. So that's question 8 done, right? Okay. So free goods are goods with opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
Free goods are goods with free goods are goods without opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
Without opportunity cost. Without opportunity cost. In this case,
What do we call the process of changing from a of a of a good changing from from free to economic?
if a product is changing from free to economic goods, well, the process, I wouldn't know, we could say, well, the process comes based on the fact that there's scarcity. It could be as a result of scarcity or continuous usage. But mostly it happens to resources that might, that their tendency of renewal, it's not high. Or probably it's not efficient. They're not, the usage is not efficient enough. So that's what scarcity will be. Because based on what they said here, they said before then, hold on. Here they said water to irrigate their crops. However, by 2017, there has been a 90% reduction in the size of the lake. So it is water. It's supposed to be natural. But what would have brought about the reduction? The reduction would have come based on the fact that there is no proper efficiency plan on Lake Chad. So that would have been as a result of that, or increasing usage without, finding a substitute. So here we have opportunity cost, okay? Then for economic goods, these are goods um, 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 opportunity cost, opportunity. Continuity. Continuity cost. So question 9, right? Okay. Mhm. It said prior to 1920, each worker at Henry Ford's car company would manufacture an entire car from start to finish. In the 1920s, the company started to use an assembly line where each worker only completed a particular task. Explain one advantage to a car manufacturer using the division of labor to organize production. What is division of labor? Tax on each worker. What's division of labor?
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's where production is broken down into tasks, and each worker specializes on one task.
The breaking down production process into different stages, and each stage is being performed by different people. The breaking down of production process, the breaking down of production process. And that's what happened with Henry Ford, right? Into different stages, and each stage is being performed by different people. So that's division of labor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the advantage? You said this increases division of labor would increase productivity as each worker is able to produce more output, which helps car manufacturer to produce cars more cheaper than its competitors. Cheaper than its competitors. Example, one worker focuses on tires and another on windscreens. So the division of labor would increase productivity. That's the point, right? And if productivity increases, it becomes cheaper. Is that what it means? Go to question 10. Hold on, please. Question. So division of labor increases advantage. Advantage. It increases productivity. Productivity. That means output is expected to rise, right? Output increases as workers are able to concentrate on the aspect of production they are good at. Okay, that's question 9. Go to question 10, right? So they said in February 2021, let me see. It said in February 2021, British Gas increased the price as, okay, the price of gas by 22%. As a result, the number of British Gas customers decreased by 350,000 to 17, decreased by 350,000 to 17 million. Ceteris paribus, calculate the price elasticity of demand for gas from British Gas show your workings. So, okay. They decreased by 350,000 to 17 million. So, ceteris paribus, calculate the price elasticity of demand. What is price elasticity of demand first?
The formula,
No, what is it? Price elasticity of demand.
degree of responsiveness of it.
Elasticity of demand.
It's the degree of responsiveness between the change, the quantity demanded and the change in
The
price.
degree of responsiveness. Degree of responsiveness. Responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product, right? Between
Yeah.
the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in price. As a result of a change in price. PED, okay? So PED is Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 divided by P2 minus P1 over P1. So here we have our Q1 to be 17 million plus 350,000, right? Because it said it decreases by 350,000 to become 17 million. So our Q1
Is our
17 million 350,000. That's Q1, right?
yes.
17 million 350,000. And Q2, 17 million, right?
Mhm.
And P1, we didn't have P1. They said the gas price increased by 22%. So P1 is 100%, 100, while P2 will be 122. Do you know that already?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Q2 minus Q1, 17 million minus 17,350,000 divided by 17,350,000, 17,350,000. Okay. 17 million minus 17,350,000 divided by 17,350,000. So that will give us 350,000. 350,000 over 17,350,000. 350,000 times the price now. We have, what's the price going to be? P2 minus P1. P2 minus P1 over P1. So 100. So we have 100. 100 over 22, right? Okay. So this cancels this. So what does your final answer gives you?
It gives me negative.
Okay, where's the calculator, please? Thank you. We have 350,000 times 100. That's 35 million. $35 million. Okay. Divided by 350,000 times 22. We have, okay, 17,350,000 times 22. 381, 3 million, 38 million, 81,700,000, 381,700,000, 358,000, divided by 381,750,000. 0.092. Okay, so that's negative, yeah. Okay, it's minus 350. The negative. Negative. So that's negative 0.092. 0.092. Okay. No. So question 11. Are you there? Okay. Okay. It said between August 2020 and August 2021, the world price of nectarines decreased from 1.83 to 1.42 per kilogram. This was caused by a good harvest in Spain, the world's largest producer. Okay. Explain the likely impact of this change in price of consumer surplus in the market for nectarines. Illustrate your answer with an appropriate diagram. So, what's consumer surplus is the difference between the price consumers are willing to pay and the price they actually pay. That's the market price, right? The market price. Okay. So an increase. A fall in price increases demand, reduces price, right? A fall in price should increase demand. So what happens to consumer surplus?
Surplus increases.
By, let's see, consumer surplus increases from
By BC P1 PE.
P1 PE.
So like the original one was ABPE, ABPE, and the new one is ACP1.
A fall in price increases consumer surplus.
Yeah.
This is consumer surplus. Okay. P1 PE. Okay. Supply increases, consumer surplus increases. A fall in price will increase consumer surplus.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. P1 PE. Okay. Then what happens to producer surplus?
Producer surplus would also increase
Why?
because it gives an incentive. When there's increased demand, there's an incentive to increase supply by firms.
That is not why producer surplus is increasing. Because here, if supply is increasing, it means if supply is increasing, it means producers have the incentive to supply more. That's why their producer surplus is increasing, not because demand is increasing.
Yeah.
It's different. You said demand is increasing. If demand is increasing, consumer surplus is increasing. But if firms are willing to supply more, it's because they have the incentive to supply more. And the incentivity increases their surplus. Okay. Go to question 11. No, that's 11. Question 12. Up to now, no mark is lost. Why?
Because there is no mark to be
We
lost.
lost. I see. Question 12.
Define external costs.
So what is external cost? Negative spillovers on third parties that did not participate in decision making, like contaminated waste, water causing cancer. Okay. So there's external cost. Let's just go back to the extract here. Extracts. Divide times extra C. Okay. Divide back. Extra C. So external costs are negative spillovers on third parties that did not participate in the decision making, okay? Like contaminated wastewater, okay, causing cancer. So question B, they said, with reference to the second paragraph, extract A, explain the phrase supply of semiconductors is inelastic. Second paragraph, extract A. Semiconductors are used in the world, is inelastic. Inelastic supply is where a change in price results in a less proportionate change in quantity supplied. Okay, good. Okay, the graph is there. Supply may be what is this?
Where may have been.
May have been inelastic as firms struggle to respond to increase in demand. Okay, that inelastic supply. Question C. With reference to extract, analyze two reasons why semiconductor prices increase on average by 20%. Reason for why semiconductor prices increases are cost of raw materials increasing. Steel and copper prices increase. That's part of the cost of raw materials, okay? Global health prices led to increased demand for semiconductors used in the production of laptops, tablets, smartphones. So this increased the cost of production because the supply, the demand for it increases. And supply cannot meet up with the demand, right? So prices rise. So supply shifts from S to S1, demand increases from D to D1, and the price increases from PE to P1. Okay, good. So that's question 12C.
No,
Question 12D now, yeah. They said, with reference to extract B and figure 1, okay, what's figure 1? Extract B, figure 1, okay? Extract B, figure 1, okay? Examine two likely effects of excess demand for semiconductors on the car manufacturer. What is excess demand? Excess demand means demand is greater than supply at the current price, okay? Two impacts of excess demand are car manufacturers waiting for semiconductors, so unable to complete customers' order, leading to reputational damage, as customers have to wait longer between ordering and receiving cars. Great. Car manufacturers removed features of cars requiring semiconductors in order to be able to reduce their costs, right? The need for semiconductors, which may disappoint customers, as new cars might not have these features, leading to reputational damage. It's still reputational damage again.
But from two different ways.
Well, why reputational damage is one to find if they are removing the features of cars requiring semiconductor in order to be able to reduce the need for semiconductors. why can't you see that as, well, that might allow them to, to produce the cars as soon as possible. It doesn't really mean it's negative impact. They said effect. It should be positive too. It could be positive. Removing it,
We
yes.
talked about
Okay,
positivity.
let me see. In evaluation, magnitude of impact is widespread, affecting Volkswagen, Japanese manufacturers. It also depends on how important semiconductors are for cars as to how much of a delay there is. This. But if you have said, because saying reputational damage, using reputational damage for two effects, no, you are repeating the same thing for different things anyway. But if they remove semiconductors, it simply means they can as well produce those cars without any delay. And that might also reduce the prices of cars.
Also, like shortage of cars led to like increased revenue for used cars market.
So there's still positivity here anyway. Avoid using the same reputational damage. Yes. So we'll go to E. It said, with reference to extra C, subsidies. With reference to extra C and your own knowledge, discuss the possible macroeconomic effects of the subsidies paid to semiconductors manufacturing in the USA. Do you draw a diagram?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
Subsidy is a cash grant paid by the government to encourage production. Subsidy is financial help from government to increase consumption and reduce production reduce the cost of production. In 2020, the US government increased subsidy to 52 billion. This was aiming to reduce the reliance on imports of semiconductors. So this impact can be illustrated on the diagram next page. Okay. Supply would increase because of subsidy. Prices falls because of subsidy. And quantity supplied increases because of subsidy. Okay. This subsidy could provide job opportunities in semiconductor manufacturing in the US. However, increased production can generate external costs, cancer causing and water usage. In evaluation,
do I not get a mark here?
okay. In evaluation, government spending leaves opportunity cost, leaving less for other areas in the economy. So government increasing subsidy means government might not be able to spend on strategic area of the economy, like probably education. You didn't mention any
I said other
areas
sectors.
other areas like what? Give examples. Benefit in terms of increased supply of semiconductor takes time, as factories take 3 years to become fully operational. So there's time lag.
Mhm.
Also, external costs associated with additional semiconductor manufacturing are difficult to quantify. Okay. That's 12E, right?
Mhm.
13.
Mhm.
Okay. So go to question 13.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. It's a financial country, man. It's
Yeah,
a busy country. Okay. Yeah, they said,
it's the country with the most millionaires.
really?
Yeah.
In 2020, the Fraser Institute identified Hong Kong as being the closest to a free market economy in the world. This was based on Hong Kong's low tax rates, low government spending, and low level of business regulation. Evaluate the advantage of a free market economy. What's a free market economy?
A free market economy is it's where a price mechanism or supply and demand determine resource allocation.
Okay. So the reason why Hong Kong is the closest to a free market is because it has low tax rates, low government expenditure, low business reputation, low business regulation,
Mhm.
which encourages the private sector to flourish. So there's little
Government
or
intervention.
no government intervention. Government involvement. Involvement. Okay. So this means, so what are the advantages? Incentive to work harder in order to increase incomes. Profit incentive means firms have to be efficient. Consumers are free to choose goods and services they desire. Firms are likely to use profits to develop new processes, research and development, I believe, helping to reduce costs and improve productivity. Competition between firms may help lower price and quantity of goods available. That is still part of okay. Disadvantages. Under provision of public goods, non-rivalry, non-excludability creates a free rider problem, and private sectors cannot generate profits. Under provision of healthcare and education, education services with external benefits where people underestimate the benefit can create inequality. Low-skilled people have income with no support from the state in the form of welfare payment. That's a problem too. So this means we could say the poor might become poorer, you know. Free market result, that's income inequality here. Do you write it already?
I said can
Income
create
inequality.
inequality.
What? Wait, inequality, okay. Form of welfare payment. Free market result in high level of unemployment. Why? Why
Because
does the free market lead to high level of unemployment?
because there's people with low skills would not be employed, or like there's no incentive for firms to hire low skilled people.
There's no incentive for firms to hire
Low skilled people
why do you think there's no incentive to hire low skilled people? Because what?
because they want to improve their efficiency.
So low skilled workers might not be relevant.
Also, can I say that there's like a lack of government jobs?
That's
Since
because
it's
the public sector is
very minimal.
very so which simply means people who will get job are people that are skilled and are able to spend more on education, which is likely to happen for those who are on low income. Okay. Under provision of healthcare. With under provision of healthcare, which makes education and healthcare become expensive, and that could impact on the HDI. You didn't say that.
Human Development Index.
So low skilled people, okay. It just depends on the extent to which an economy acts as a free market. Even Hong Kong has tax regulations, so it is not a pure free market. They're not saying it's a pure free market. They only said it's close to be a pure free market. So let's see. These are just 1 points, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 16, 18. So that ends paper 1 of which year?
October 2022.
October 2022. Okay, so we calculate now.